Today is the day. After many weekends of rain, we're finally building the enclosure.
So originally, I did not plan on leveling the ground. I know that sounds a little bit silly, but it was a bit of an afterthought. It was only kind of last minute that I realized I should do this, and I didn't have the tools, didn't really budget the money to get the tools, so I tried to dig out part of my backyard myself. However, I quickly realized that was not going to work out. Didn't matter how hard or soft the ground was. To do it with only a shovel and my bare arms, it was just not happening.
Is it really so bad if I let grass grow through the bottom of the box? Because I don't think I want to do this anymore.
To begin this project, we decided to line the bottom of the box with landscape fabric and a drainage layer of gravel. This gravel will not only serve the purpose of a drainage layer, but also hopefully level out the ground a little bit. The goal was to put more gravel on the sides of the box where there was more gaps. We realized this was even more difficult than I had planned in my head because the way that we did the walls where we had the cinder block supports, we could easily tell when it wasn't level based on how the blocks would sit together and pinch the walls. We struggled for a good 2 hours trying to fit these walls together and get them just right so that way when the lid set on top they would be even, but we got it about as close as we could before we just called it a day. I think after this long day, it had me realizing that if I were to ever do this project again, the walls would not be done like this. It would be a totally different design. Honestly, maybe even a pre-built box because this just really had me ripping my hair out.
It's tiring. I thought it would at least be cloudy, so it would be nicer. It's exhausting, but it'll be worth it.
After measuring and cutting the lids twice, getting them recut, I finally was able to try and put them together. I decided to line the gaps with chicken wire so that way light and air and all the elements could still get in the box, but no predators or birds could swoop in and take him. I stained only the outside of the box and lids and kept everything on the inside pretty plain. I actually liked the look of the plain wood, but I knew that over time it would not look as nice as it does brand new. Once I was done staining, I put boiled linseed oil on the outside and the inside of the box on the wood to seal it. It is the safest type of sealant I could find, but I was not really worried about him getting into it. I just wanted to make sure that it was safe from the rain or any elements. I did not want it to drip into the soil and make it toxic. After we got the walls up, we decided to add another layer of landscape fabric and drainage layer before putting in all of the soil and the plants. This second layer of landscape fabric would be stapled inside the box to hopefully prevent anything from growing in, crawling in, or for my turtle from crawling out.
Okay, I'm still working on the box, but I'm very close. I just basically have to do the outside. But I'm gonna let Franklin test it out for a little bit, so let's see what he thinks. So the goal for today was to finally get the lids on the box and his platform set up so that way he has some shade. I haven't quite figured out yet how he's gonna climb on top of it. That'll probably come for another day, but at least now he has shade and shelter from the elements a little bit and protected from the birds. However, now that that's all set up, I'm kind of nervous. Like, this might be his first night I let him stay out here by himself. They call me a helicopter parent, but I'm just nervous. Well, buddy, this might be your first night all by yourself in the new box. What do you have to say to that? Huh? You excited? As you can tell, this is a bit uneven right here and all the way across. That's because this side has the brick higher up than the wall, whereas this side it's not as different. And then up here, same thing. There's a gap between the lids. Not intended. I did measure this out, but I don't really know what happened when it came to cutting it. Anyway, take this as a note to actually level the ground first before doing all of this, because all of these unevenness is the complete result of the ground not being level. But you know, we live and we learn. We live and we learn. I got these seeds like 2 years ago in Utah. I don't really know why. I thought it would encourage me to make a wildflower garden, but at the time I didn't even have a place to make a garden. And I still don't have a place to make a garden, so we're just gonna sprinkle some in his box and hope for the best, honestly. It may not attract any pollinators like I planned, but at the very least it'll give him a more natural environment and not waste the seeds. Franklin? Oh my god, look how big you are. Hi guys, it's update time. Here's Franklin. It's been a little bit since I've shared the box. It's now September and I can already feel autumn in the air. It's getting a bit colder, so he only has about a month or a month and a half left to be able to use the box, but we're gonna let him enjoy it while it lasts. Getting some clover pop up and grass is popping through. Not the most ideal, but the clover will be very nice for coverage if it can last. Over here was the ones I grew from seed, and they're really growing, but obviously they're getting kind of taller than the box allows, and they're trying to bloom. I'm hoping I'll get to see them flower, but it is kind of late in the year, so we'll see. I know that Franklin really does not like drinking from this water bowl, so I just kind of stopped worrying about filling it all the time, and I occasionally will take him inside to give him his food and water because he will not really eat it out here for some reason unless it's like bugs. But next year this is going to be a more enhanced side of the project. I'm going to add the pond features around here and maybe even a little waterfall to keep this water bowl from getting stagnant, because that was the big problem this summer, is that the water would sit here and within a few hours it would turn green, and it was just really hard to maintain. So this will be next summer's upgrade, I think. Originally I put this platform here because I wanted him to be able to climb up, and I was going to give him a ramp and he could sit on top and bask, and then he'd have this big shady spot. But he doesn't use it for shade, and I never got around to making the ramp, and then I started to cave in anyway because apparently we didn't screw it in right. So I think we're gonna take this apart as well next summer and actually just put a lot more foliage. I think that would be a lot more beneficial, and maybe more huts like this. I think he would get a lot more out of that than currently what's been used. It feels like this whole side of the box has been dead and untouched, so I don't really want that. I think this is gonna go, and I'll just extend more plants. My entire box smells like basil, but I think I'm gonna plant these again next year because it was only like one plant, and I split it into 3 roots and they survived through everything. So if I could just get like maybe 2 plants of them, I think the whole box can be covered and give him a lot more shade. What you think about that, Franklin? Hostas and lilies really did not survive super well. I don't know if any of them will come back next year. Probably not. But I do want to plant more, and I'm going to try to make a better effort of keeping them alive. The sedges did pretty good through everything. Honestly, I just had to keep it wet. I think I want to add a lot more sedges with the water features and even some pond plants once I can get this area working. But as you can see, some grass is growing in through here and over here. I'm going to have to maintain that, but I actually don't mind too much because I need some ground cover, just a little bit. And I would like to add a lot more moss too. I got this patch from my friend's backyard. I'm gonna see if she can bring a lot more next year, assuming this survives. If this could survive, maybe not. It would be nice to just have a lot of patches like that throughout the box. One of the things that I did not account for when building this box and these lids is how much the sides would bow, especially because I didn't really level the ground like I probably should have. I got a little bit lazy there, and so the walls were very difficult to like not prevent it from like pushing out that way, especially because my yard goes down slope just a little bit. So I had to put this extra support board here that seals this wall and that wall together to prevent the bowing from that much. But whenever I measured out the lids, I got it wrong because I kind of made them all the same size, but they bow in different spots. So that's why there's these really awkward gaps here. It's kind of unsightly, but I actually don't mind that much because when I'm back here, I can stick my hand in between it and lift it up, and it's really not a problem. And again, it's not like the prettiest, but it covers it mostly. That's really all the lids are for, is just to protect him from predators and to give him just a little bit more shade. So at the end of the day, it's not the prettiest thing, but it gets the job done. And then I also didn't realize that this center board here that supports the walls would prevent this from being able to fully lay back whenever I go to lift the lid. And also something went wrong with our hinge on this one. I really don't know what happened here. I think we just didn't seal it in right. And so it started coming out, and I think part of this was because of this, just putting pressure on the boards. So I mean, it's still in there and it still works. It gets the job done, but it's definitely a little sloppy back here. We don't talk about it. I also didn't even stain back here because most people aren't going to see it. So really not a big deal. Eventually, I would like to add like maybe a flower box or something back here to kind of border the edges of it, but we're not too worried about that right now. You can see this board is also bowing. I'm not really sure what's up with that in the center. Again, the main purpose of this entire lid structure is just to protect him. It's not going to be the prettiest, but it works. And honestly, at least the way that I set it up, the size is just right to lift, and it's so easy to lift. And honestly, usability at this point is the most important thing, is that this is usable and that nothing gets inside. And it's kind of nice actually, because grasshoppers somehow get inside of here and they get trapped. And I think they get trapped because they somehow probably come through this gap I left. Another sloppy measure by me, but I didn't mind. I don't have any worries about big animals getting into this right now. If that ever becomes a problem, or I think it would become a problem, I might upgrade. But for the most part, anyway, it traps grasshoppers in here, and that's nice because then he gets free food. And I kind of want this to start growing bigger with a lot more plants next summer, so we can get a lot more in there. He's not the best at chasing them, but if I find them, I give them to him and it works out. We also got him this really big hut from the store. It has a hole in the top, a hole on the side, and a big hole on the corner here. He doesn't use it all the time, but it's great shelter from the rain, and it gives him a little airflow and just a nice little extra secure hidey spot if he ever needs it. I like to put him in here when I know it's going to rain because I want him to still be able to experience the outdoors and, his natural habitat, but I want him to know that he does have places he can go, especially when the rest of the dirt gets too saturated for him to bury. Now, granted, his drainage turned out really well. Like, it never gets full, it never gets flooded. I can trust him out here through most rains and it'd be totally fine. I just have to watch out for storms, really windy nights, really cold nights, and maybe even really hot nights. But through the rain, it's just kind of nice to let him sit out here. If I get multiple days of rain, I do bring him in because I don't want him to feel like he has no warm spot to go. But overall, I've been very happy with the drainage that we did. That's probably the best part of the box. Like, functionally, what ended up working the best, the walls may have had their problems, the lids may have had their problems, but at least the drainage works, okay? One of the flowers I planted from a seed finally bloomed. Look at that. I let it come through the opening crack of the lids because it was too tall and I didn't want it to be smushed, but it looks great. Probably one of the only seeds that really made it out, but I love it. This is Franklin's last week out here in the box. He has started trying to sleep deep. This is the first time I've seen him bury himself so deep all summer long. I actually found him in this spot the other day, but he was like completely buried under all of this loose grass and dirt, as you can see.